So we go from the Tillotson T4 that I have driven to the Pro Kart UK that they keep trying to get me out in. Maybe one day. Jessica Alexander leading from Aaron Alexander on the grid. Charlie Bingham and Henry Trina, then Sam Spinell and Jake Richardson. John Hogan, Alex Bomberg, Craig Day and Kieran Lambert in one of the most competitive grids you're ever going to see in British karting. Never mind this weekend. 29 drivers battling their way through this weekend. Sixth row of the grid, we're going to see a very close encounter between Josh Mercer and Luke Tomlinson, then Aaron Lord and Mick Lord, Alan Lowes and John Tabezic, then Ben Clark, Michael Kimber, Ben Morby and Carl Ruddock are going to be there in the field. Plenty of overtaking to be expected, not just at the front, but also in the midfield. With this very exciting Pro Kart field, you're going to see plenty of overtakes as drivers try and make their way back up the order as well. Jack Hewland and Jay Fletcher in the 11th row of the grid, then Isaac Needham and Ryan Skerry, Steve Nichols, Dominic Needham, Tom Hewland, Joseph Hadley. At the back of the field in the number 14, it'll be Mark Hilditch. You'll be hoping that P29 is not where he finishes.
Yeah, this is a grid of, I think it's Pro Kart Pro and Pro Kart Clubman, but I don't think the timing differentiates. Timing we can see will be able to tell us. I think it's Jai Fletcher who's the leading Clubman driver, further back in the field, starting P20, I think.
Here we go, let's race, and straight away Jessica Alexander hits the front. A brilliant run, but it's already going to be a tough one as Alexander is going to get up the inside. That's Aaron Alexander making the bid, and I don't think he's the only one that made it. Charlie Bingham trying to come straight through to the lead of the race, and Bingham has done so, so Bingham leads. Aaron Alexander is next up. Then it's Jessica Alexander. A couple of drivers flirting with the grass on the way through to Inkermans, but as they go through Ashby, it is getting pretty spicy in the midfield. A couple of drivers towards the back trying to get back into it. There goes Jessica Alexander on the inside of Henry Treneur. A brilliant opportunity there to move through into third position as the field skates their way through Wilkins and Oziers, and then onto the back straight up to the boot. Number 7, Aaron Alexander, having worked his way into second position, still trying to make the bid. But it's looking good for Charlie Bingham. This Pro Kart UK class, really exciting to watch as Jessica Alexander just goes a little bit wide there out of the final turn. A couple of drivers getting very close to it. Oh, contact, 3 cuts in the wall. Dominic Needham and Ben Morby tagging together, and poor Joe Hadley having to take avoiding action and going in as well. So that's all getting a little bit messy. Charlie Bingham versus Aaron Alexander has definitely upped in tempo as Jessica Alexander holds third position for the moment in front of Trenor. Spinell, Lambert, is this going to be the move finished off for Aaron Alexander? It is, and Aaron Alexander hits the front as they go towards Wilkins and Oziers, but runs wide. Here's the opportunity again for Charlie Bingham, switching positions. Lightning reflexes from both drivers, and watch out, here comes Jessica Alexander, and do not have any doubts about this. Jessica Alexander will be pushing tooth and nail to get through. Absolutely fearless racer. Jessica Alexander will be wanting to hit the front sooner rather than later.
If you go back half a lap as he came through Christmas Corner, the 2 leaders were well clear, weren't they? But now it's a 3-way battle, and 4th, 5th and 6th not that far behind. Up the inside is the 7. That's Aaron Alexander through to the lead, and Jessica goes with him. Not related, by the way.
No, indeed, they just happen to have the same surname. Jessica Alexander to the lead in just 3 corners. Now they're going to run wheels. A very close run thing there. They just about managed to escape drama, but Jessica Alexander drifts wide. Aaron will get the move on the inside line. Jessica Alexander goes wide. Charlie Bingham to the inside line. Now you've got Trenor, Spinell and Lambert all trying to coax through on the inside. Kieran Lambert going for broke on the inside line. Gets a wheel on the curb. Pirouettes around, and Kieran Lambert's just got to hope that everybody's going to avoid him. Fortunately, they have.
Only just. He had to sit there and let cart after cart go past. He can't turn into the carts. Got to let them go, and he drops down the field.
Well, Aaron Alexander hits the front once more. Charlie Bingham second, then Jessica Alexander, Trenor, Spinell, Jake Richardson from John Hogan, then Tomlinson, Bomberg, Day, Mercer, Lord, Lowes, Ben Clark, and John Tabezic. This will be a very interesting comeback drive from Charlie Bingham now, having split the Alexanders. Again, no relation, very different drivers. Aaron Alexander in the black and white machine. Jessica Alexander, easily the best transgender kart racer in the country, and certainly one of the most sensational drivers you're ever going to go wheel to wheel with in Pro Kart UK. She was an absolutely fantastic contender in every endurance race I've ever seen her do battle in, and what a fantastic performer. I seem to recall some amazing performances in the British 24 Hours on more than one occasion at Teesside. Jessica Alexander actually sets the fastest lap of the race, a 51.39, pushing hard to try and coax Aaron Alexander and Charlie Bingham into another inevitable error. Everybody's making them because the racing is so intense.
It's a great class there, so we'll be covering all of the rounds of the British Pro Kart Championship later in the season within the UK Kart Series. I think that is, what is it, June, July, August, September, I think that is. We're bringing you all 4 rounds of the British Pro Kart Championship later in the year, and there's 29 in this field. How many is there going to be in that field?
I'm really looking forward to Pro Kart UK. Everything I have heard about it has just been positive after positive after positive, and it's going to be really exciting to see how that battle plays out. Here comes Jessica Alexander again, looking for the bid on Charlie Bingham to try and move forward into second position, just running the gauntlet through Crook and Oblivion, up Fine Lady, along Manuel's Bank.
Fastest lap for Jessica Alexander on that last tour. In fact, the last 2 laps she set the fastest lap, but 3rd place on track at the moment, so hasn't got track position, but fastest driver on track. The leading Clubman driver, by the way, Jai Fletcher, down in 17th. We haven't seen much of them. We've got to concentrate on this battle for the overall lead, and it is Aaron Alexander from Charlie Bingham. Jessica Alexander, first 3, and in 4th place there, trying to make up the gap, is Henry Trina.
Great to see we have got some very intense battles down the field. Jonty Bezic in front of Lord, Clark, Fletcher and Needham, so the leading clubman is in the middle of that gaggle of cars. Kieran Lambert has actually recovered in that and finds himself 19th behind Fletcher and Needham, the 2 leading clubman drivers, so there's plenty of action everywhere you look around the course here at Wilton Mill.
Another fastest lap this time by Charlie Bingham on that tour. Just .190 behind the leaders as they went through the line.
Alexander having to defend on the way to Christmas, clearly feels that both these drivers are going to be on him like lead bricks. Bingham will try for the lead. Alexander having to go right across the track to stop the onslaught. They come through to Ashby. Watch Jessica Alexander. The door is opened up for second position. She goes for it, and on the curb, and look at the sparks coming off from Charlie Bingham's machine. It's like something out of Mansell versus Senna in the 80s. Absolutely terrific as Jessica Alexander finds the car into second position, pushes the limit and manages to get through. Little bit of momentum lost trying to get that move done. As a result, Henry Trenor shows up on the scene.
I have to say, this is one of my favourite karting classes in the whole of karting. It's well, it's a class that doesn't get anywhere near enough coverage, but as I say, this year, later in the year, we're going to be bringing you the 4 British Pro Kart rounds.
It's pure, isn't it? It's raw. It's almost like boxing on wheels. It's so fantastic to watch. Jessica Alexander power sliding on the way to the braking zone at Ashby, trying to get the car turned in. Up towards Wilkins, through the left, dash of curb, in and out. Then up through Osiers again, just trying to find a little bit of extra momentum on Aaron Alexander, our race leader. But Jessica Alexander is taking the momentum of Charlie Bingham with her as they work their way through. Due to the boot again, onto the toe. And Alexander desperately trying to hold the middle of the road, but it's so difficult when you're mid-apex, trying to kiss the curb on the inside line and hold the radius through Crook, through Oblivion, back on the power, along Manuel's Bank, across Fine Lady, and up towards Christmas. And look, Aaron Alexander's almost looking back as much as he is forwards. That's enough of an invitation. They bang wheels. Jessica Alexander's through. Watch for Bingham on the right side. Bingham's going to run out of road. No, he's not. He's going to edge the kart in and force the issue.
Here's the replay. This is brilliant. Look at that. You've got to take advantage. One chance. You've got to go for it. And Jessica Alexander, Aaron Alexander tries to squeeze, moves across the track, right and then left,
and Bingham,
up the inside she goes.
Bingham and Aaron Alexander going for the lead side by side as Trenor ends up going off the road. Jessica Alexander splits Aaron and Charlie Bingham. Absolutely terrific. Back into second place once more. And now we've got Trenor, Spinell and Jake Richardson having their own private battle in behind the top 3. They're swarming around. So this is getting very close quarters racing as they continue on the way up the climb. So up towards it again, and look how tight-knit Aaron Alexander is, holding on in front of Jessica, who still fancies the chance to get through into the lead of the race. Up towards Ashby again. Aaron Alexander pulls across the line. Charlie Bingham round the outside, managing to get into second briefly, back down to third. This is terrific stuff. A proper nail-biter in Pro Kart UK. Charlie Bingham's going to try and make the bid on the inside of Aaron Alexander. Can't get the switch back. So now Jessica Alexander in third is going to have to try and make her bid. Meanwhile, it is an absolute squabble just behind them. Any one of those drivers could take full advantage of this trio, having an absolute dance with death through the inside of each apex. Through comes Sam Spinell to move up into fourth position. Very good conviction there. Chennault down to fifth, then Richardson, Hogan, Tomlinson, all snapping at each other's heels.
John Hogan, we know from the Super 1 British Karting Championship some years ago, Jake. He was in the TKM Extreme class. He's switched here to the Pro Kart, and he's going to be a player later in the year for the British Championships, as are all these three out front.
We are running out of time. The opportunity to try and make these overtaking moves is definitely dissipating. Alexander, Bingham, then Alexander again. It's Jessica. Oh, Charlie Bingham's run off wide. Charlie Bingham completely dropping the kart on the way out of Ozier's, and that's going to be all the way down to the back of the train. So Aaron Alexander has license now to run to the flag in front of Jessica Alexander. There is the checkered flag. Aaron Alexander wins. Jessica Alexander in second from Sam Spinell. What an absolutely sensational finish. Just as we saw Mike Coppin going off the road in Tillotson T4, we see the same thing for Charlie Bingham, who crosses the line a very disgruntled 8th position. Not the way he wanted to end it, but what a duel, right to the wire. Aaron Alexander takes the win in front of Jessica Alexander and Sam Spinell. Henry Chennault, then Jake Richardson from John Hogan. Luke Tomlinson in 7th place. Charlie Bingham has to be content with 8th position, though of course he will not be. Craig Day in 9th position, Alex Bomberg in P10. A very competitive category in Pro Kart UK all the way. And just check out the distance from 1st to 10th. Less than 7 seconds covers the battle in the final. That shows you just how ultra competitive it is in Pro Kart UK. We love it.